Let's just jump right into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've posted. I feel like I make this apology like once a quarter and that's my bad, but life has been so good and also kicking my ass simultaneously. How that works, couldn't tell you. Would love to, but I can't. But I'm here to tell the story. Here is a huge weekend I had at the beginning of July. So it was 3 markets back to back to back. It was for the girls Memphis. This was a night market, my very first night market. Then I had the regular Memphis market on Saturday, and then I had to go all the way down to Pensacola on Sunday. This for the girls market, I don't know if it was helpful or hurtful that it wasn't just a vintage market. It was just kind of like all these girly things in one. We had florists, therapists, tattoo artists, tooth gems, waist beads, matcha, like you name it, it was out there. The market was supposed to be from 4 to 10, but like at 8:30 it was getting pitch black. So by the time like 8:30 came around, no one was really coming out to the field to shop. So we kind of lost like an hour and a half of time, and I wanted to pack up early and I did as much as I could, but we couldn't bring our cars out until 10 p.m. So I kind of just had to sit out there and twiddle my thumbs for an hour. So that kind of sucked, but I knew I had Memphis vintage the next day, one of my favorite markets, so I wasn't overly upset about it. Now, if you are in the vintage community, you know there is always some kind of drama going on, and this weekend was no exception. So this same weekend that Memphis Vintage was hosting their market, the same day that they were hosting their market, Totally Rad was in Memphis. Totally Rad is a traveling market. They hit a bunch of different cities all over the place, and Memphis Vintage was not happy that they decided to come into their territory, for lack of a better word. So they decided to host their own market the exact same day on the opposite side of town, and it left a lot of the vintage vendors here in Memphis and the people who just like to do Memphis Vintage Market pretty upset because they felt like they were splitting up the money, making people choose what market to go to rather than like everyone getting support and getting the full crowd at one market. So a lot of people were pissed with them. I chose to do Memphis Vintage just because I've always done better at their markets over Totally Rad anyway. And I also got blacklisted from Totally Rad, which will be a discussion we have at the end of this video because you guys need to hear how freaking ridiculous this is, and I still don't know why people support traveling markets. Like, I'm so over them, but this is not about that right now. Memphis was a great time. The girlies showed up and showed out. I had such a great day. I love this market. I will continue to support them. Other people can choose what they want to do. This is my decision, and somebody said I lacked morals for doing Memphis Vintage, and you know what, to each their own. I'm not mad with my day, and you were mad with your day at Totally Rad. So anyway, let me not be messy. Our final stop of the tour this weekend was all the way down in Pensacola, Florida, which was like a 7-hour drive from Memphis. And originally I thought I was going to go straight through because my friends did Totally Rad Memphis and they were also doing Pensacola. So we all like got a hotel room for like, I guess Saturday-ish night leading into Sunday. And they went straight through. They got in at like midnight. I wasn't going to get until 3 a.m. So I just kind of stopped at my place, took a nap, woke up early, and then made the rest of the drive. I really was happy with my spot for this market because I thought it was so close to the front until we got started. I don't know what happened, but like the middle area was not getting any love. I would like go and check on my friends on the outskirts or along the perimeter and they were killing it. Like it was so freaking busy, you could barely walk, but in the middle it was bare bones. I don't know what was going on. So maybe I thought this market was always so good because I was on the outside, but my numbers were like a third of what I normally do. So that was really upsetting. And then of course, in true Florida fashion, there was a torrential downpour at the very end, but luckily it stopped after an hour so we could quickly get packed up and go get some food. Woke up the next morning, it was beautiful, gorgeous. Me and my friends, like there was 3 of us, we thought we were gonna have like 2 really cute beachy days to relax after a long weekend. No, like tropical storm birthday came through and ruined all of that. So like then we also wasted money on Airbnbs, so we were not live laughing and loving, but we did thrift on the way home and I had a great day. So let's get into that. This is our first find of the day. They actually have coats out, which is really exciting because the girlies are buying the coats at markets. But this would just be a personal. I just like the wash on it. I like the little 13 over here. If I can show you, there we go. It's by Lucky Brand. It'll just be a nice, like, oversized moment as we move into fall. I've found one of these for the shop before, and it sold immediately at my market. So I think I'm going to pick this one up again. The color's really good and people really like this, I don't know, utility style. So Not entirely sure if this is necessarily my style, but I really love the texture of this bow, and this like mauvey with dusty rose is really getting to me right now. And it's nice and flowy. I think we're gonna put it in the cart for now. And like imagine for the fall time, like as we transition seasons, this a long sleeve underneath it, obviously the shorts on, some tights, tall boots, leg warmers coming out, a fun bag, and maybe even one of those little Y2K, like what are they called, newsboy hats or something like that. If I can find a Pinterest inspo, I will put it on the screen, but if we can't go wrong with either one of these, so I'm gonna grab them both. My toxic trait is that every time I see a waistband like this, my head immediately goes like Y2K, fold over moment, never maternity, never pregnancy. And these are definitely, after looking at the tag, they are in fact for maternity. If I could find the tag. Here we go. Yeah. Now maybe a girly could just wear them regular, but I was like, oh my god, linen, like fold over. Like, no, babe, no. This was right across the street, so we're gonna try this place. And it looks like they have a sale. Y'all know I'm an addict for tops like this. I just think they're so flattering on my body type specifically because I have broad shoulders. But not only is it like a high neck, kind of tapered moment, it's also a freaking halter. And I can't tell if it's vintage or not. This does look like an older tag, but the other like material tag is cut out. That's all I have. So I think it's older. Regardless, it's coming home with me. I have just been a magnet for this like dusty rose color, and I feel like the camera's not doing it justice right now. It's kind of blowing it out, but we have a leather, honestly it's suede poncho. Are you kidding? As we move into fall, like you cannot tell me this isn't perfect. See if I can show you the proof tag here. Look at that. Like you're joking. It is so quiet in here, but I did find some stuff, so I want to show you. Do I even need to explain myself? The buttons, this thick waistband, come on. These are old Rue 21. It's still hot in the south, so I think I'm good. These, they're like an olive green color. I don't know if you can tell, but they're also textured. Obsessed. Might have to keep these for myself. Then we found this. It's by Windsor. It's got the paper tag and everything. That old Windsor tag. But it's like one of those bodycon dresses. This is very like mid 2000s, like early 2010s. Like I feel like girls were wearing this to homecoming when I was in high school in 2010. Then I also found these like sheer wide leg pants. You guys know these are my bread and butter. I love these. These are my size, so I will likely keep them because I feel like I can't have enough. We also found this Old Navy like maxi skirt. It is pinstripe, and it's got this cute little drawstring detail that'll turn to a bow. I recently, like literally this past weekend, sold one very similar, but it was all black and by the Gap, so I know this style will work. And then the last thing I got was this black little micro mini swim skirt. There's no like underwear built in, so if you wanted to wear this for like a night out, you absolutely could, because I know some girls feel like they can never find a skirt small enough to go out, and this is like one of those perfect moments. So getting this as well. All the clothes are $3.50, so feeling very good about these decisions here. I cannot make this up. This is the very first thing I find when I come in here. Look at that boot cut. By Cachet, of course. My one true love. The wash on these are so good too. Oh my gosh. Yes. Someone also donated these. I'm thinking it's the same girly because these are also a size 0. The lace, again, boot cut. Oh my goodness. I wish there was more on the back, but they're gorgeous nonetheless. If this isn't a mood, I don't know what is. Because I do in fact need one of those. I love a small town thrift, like you're joking. The details, like this is so good. Another one. This one was an XL. This one is a size 22. Babe, we're size inclusive at Sinclair Vintage. We have another win for the plus size girlies. Like, low key, this could be a fit. I really like this metallic color and like the waistline on this, but it has some damage. So I'm not gonna get it, but I would love to find one in my size in a similar color. This has been my cutest top option, and I don't even know if it's actually that cute. Like, I don't know. I think this would fit around like your waist, and this would be kind of a slouchy, boxy situation, but I don't know what it is with tops. They just do not like me. So I think we're about to leave with just the 3 pieces I have here. Alrighty, we are starting off strong. We have a beaded sequin dress, full length, halter, vintage, obviously. Gotta grab her. I think she's only like $8, which is really good. Finally finding a good top in here. Honestly, it might be a dress, I'm not sure, but it's with the tops. But again, it's that high neck. It's got a very nice satin silky feel. Halter. Hello, my bread and butter. I think it's by Lane Bryant, but it's like Man USA, so it's their older stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Lane Bryant, Man USA. The plus size girlies are winning in this video. I think this is going to be my obsession as we go into the fall. These like champagne-y metallic knits, and just fabrics in general. We saw the one at the last store. Now we have this one. My eye is just so drawn to them. But again, this one has some pulls and snags and stuff. It's also not vintage, so that will be staying. But if you guys start to see these a lot, hopefully you're into them too, because I'm really loving. We have this like micro mesh long tank top, very 2010s. This with like a micro short and a big chunky belt, boots, the whole 9. Like, I feel like we can do something with this, and it's by Express, and it's a good fall color. Should we get it? I mean, it's got the tag on it still. Why not? My lucky girl syndrome is in full effect. This is a dead stock Charlotte Russe halter. Look at this. And this color, oh my goodness. This is gonna look so gorgeous on, like, how is this real life? We love to see silk. Someone definitely put this in the washer though. You can tell. It's got a little bit of that fading on it, but I might still get it. I don't know. We'll think about it. I feel like this might be like an ugly cute situation. I just love the texture, and I love kind of like the hidden flowers in there. I think this could be fun. It could be interesting to style. It's also dead stock, which I'm sure is influencing me right now, because I love when stuff is still like new with tags, but I think we might take a chance on it. We love an elevated basic over here. We just have like a black midi skirt, but it does have the ruffles, a little beading, a micro mesh. Oh my god, micro mesh little sheer moment. Say that 12 times fast. Goodness. Just vote. Everybody vote. Should I get one of these? I won't do it today, but I've always been intrigued by these little mystery things. And my Goodwill has never had one, but now they do. Do we take the risk? Comment down below. All right, I've been through all the sections. I think we're just gonna get everything that I showed you guys. I'm just gonna go through it, make sure there's no flaws, and then we're gonna move on. I don't know if there's another store on the way home, but I also have to go all the way up to Birmingham today, so we might do a little stoppy stop on the way there. Baby, they have lost their freaking mind. Oh, I'm not excited for fall anymore. What in the hell? 16 for this? It's not even leather, it's just denim. And this is not even a crazy brand. Oh my goodness. Okay, we've come back to earth. The price is not egregious, and frankly, this is way cuter. And we've lost our mind again. This is just a suede vest, and it ties in the front. They have it at $24. Granted, pink tags are 30% off today, but even at 30% off, that's like 18 bucks, and I just cannot justify that for a freaking vest. Jacket, maybe. A vest? No. She's a cutie, though. I love the cinching, and there's actually some lace there. Yeah, let's grab this. Finally found something good in the shirt section. Look at that keyhole. I love this color. I think it'll be good for layering too. Especially now that we're moving into fall, layering will be key. This is going straight to my personal closet. Oh my goodness. The O-ring back details, the cow neck, guys. This is right up my alley. These are low-key, high-key, hella crazy. Like, these are felt almost. They feel like a stuffed animal. But there's no butt pockets, and they are in fact vintage. Like, look at this tag. And to actually further confirm it, we have it made in USA, 100% cotton. Like, do I absolutely need these? No. But at the same time, like, I'd be crazy to leave them. I'm kidding. Like, low-key, imagine these pants with that top going out. Baby. I was doing a little wraparound, and look at what I found. It's a leather belt. What is that? Leopard print? It's like got pony hair. Definitely grabbing that. It's tea time. Let's talk about Totally Rad and why I got blacklisted. Was it officially said to me that I got blacklisted? No, but I know simple math, and 2 + 2 = 4. I mean, I can read between the lines here. So let me paint the picture for you. Totally Rad came to Birmingham this February in the spring. And everyone said that last year when they came, it was stupid crazy, that it was one of the best ones that they've ever done, including some of my friends who are veterans in the game. Okay, I wasn't just talking to Birmingham like locals, because I feel like some of them only really do local markets. They don't really get out and do other bigger markets, so their kind of perception of what a good market is skewed. But I have people coming from like Tennessee and Georgia who I do the circuit with on a regular basis. They came last year. They're like, oh yeah, I did 6K, like I did this, I did that. They had a really good time last year in Birmingham. So I was like, all right, I'm doing whatever I can in my power to be there this year. February comes along, I'm hyped, okay? I not only get a spot, but I get a big spot. I'm talking a 12 by 24. I paid $500 for a big booth at this market because everyone said it did so crazy last year, and I wanted to take advantage. I wanted to bring my changing tent. I wanted to bring out every single piece of inventory that I had to fully take advantage of the fact that there was actually something really big going down in Birmingham. Okay. Set up Friday. The market actually starts Saturday, and it's 8:30 a.m. till 10 for early bird, and then like 10 to 5 for general admission. This is a very long market. Most markets are like maybe 6 hours. This was a full 9 to 5 work day, not including the fact that you have to set up or take down. So really it was like a 12-hour day. Very long day. I expect to be doing big numbers. They're a big market. They travel. They have a reputation. So be it. Okay. So I got the big booth. Early bird starts, right? First of all, I go outside to see how many people are in that early bird line. It's like 8:20. There's maybe 50 people in that line. I'm like, okay, cool. So this is about to be a waste of my time for this first hour and a half, because no one's really here to shop this early bird thing. And I always think that early bird is such a scam. Like obviously if you're a shopper and you really want something and you feel like early bird's worth it, then come by all means, because like no one is there to shop. So like if you really wanted basically a private shopping appointment, like that's your time to come. But for like from a seller standpoint, it's just a money grab for the host, because instead of charging $10, they can charge $25 and make an extra $15 off of however many people, you know, decide to do early bird. But like for sellers, we're not really feeling the early bird thing. We're maybe making like 5 sales total. Like it's really not a crazy situation for early bird, and it F's with your psyche when you're like, okay, I've been sitting here an hour and a half, doesn't feel like the market started, I've made 1 sale, you know what I mean? Like it just, anyway. So it's getting closer to 10. I go and I look outside and I'm like, again, for GA, for all this hype, there's like 100 people out here. What's going on? What is going on? So we go through the whole day, and honestly, it's pretty mid. After all the fees, I could have done better at my own market. I had done better at my own local market that I've thrown, because that vendor fee alone was $500, not including the fact that like I had to pay the gas to drive up there. Like so many other factors. Like, did I do okay? Sure. But could I do that same number at a local market with a smaller vendor fee? Also yes. So to me, I wasn't overly ecstatic about the situation. But for Totally Rad, there are these tax forms, right? And they told us in advance that we were gonna have to fill out these tax forms before we leave. So around 4 o'clock, mind you, the market is at 5. Around 4 o'clock, one of like the people on the team that hosts Totally Rad was walking around and handing out these forms. The girl walks past me and I'm like, hey, like, can I have one of those forms? I haven't gotten one yet. And she's like, oh, so-and-so is gonna come around to your section and give you guys one. And I'm like, you have them right here, you're right in front of me, like, why can't, what are these sections? Like, everyone has to get the same tax form, just give me a form. But she was very adamant about the fact that like someone else was gonna come around to my section. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's 5 o'clock, the market's ending, and I still don't have this form. Mind you, in the original email that they sent out, they were like, hey, at the end of the market, like if you want to leave and come back after 6, like leave, go get food, come back after 6 for loadout, please do that, because there's going to be so many people, we can't have that many cars in. So what did people do? Right at 5, they left. Well, my section didn't get these forms, and now they're telling the entire like convention center, all of these sellers, that no one can load their stuff out until every single person has turned in this tax form. Mind you, we've already been there since at least 8 o'clock. I got there at 8 because I had set up the day before, but like set up for Saturday started at 7 a.m. Some people had been there since 7 a.m. It's now 5 p.m. and you're telling us not a single soul can load out or drive their car in until they have every single tax form. And they're getting on the intercom, they're now yelling at us. People are trying to load their racks out and they're not having it. They're trying to stop people at the door from leaving. And I'm like, so you're basically holding us hostage right now. This is a hostage situation. Because by the time my section got our forms, it was like 5:15. Some people had already left, like I said. And like we basically just had to wait for everyone to get back to turn their forms. And that was like after 6, naturally, because they said come back after 6. So it's like 6:30 before group 1 was allowed to bring in their cars in. And they had the nerve to get on the intercom and say, you guys are being disrespectful, we're gonna have to start writing people up, blah 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 blah, like the hosts are. And I'm like, bro, this is your doing. If you would have just given us these tax forms at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, if you guys would have just done it at 4 o'clock and let everyone hand it, like so many other things that we're in y'all's control, and now you're mad at us because we're getting disrespectful with y'all. Y'all disrespected us first in our time, in our effort, and everything else, right? But like, we're the problem. Anyway, it's 6:45. I'm finally able to go get my car. I get my car, I'm pulling it in, and they're already over the intercom telling people like, do not park in the aisle, pull into your spot, we have too many cars, we can't have you parking in the aisle. And I'm like, okay, I heard you, I'm pulling in. I thought I was gonna come up from one direction, and I ended up having to come from another direction because like the way the cars were positioned, like there was no room for me to actually drive my car to my spot. So I had to do like go a different route. And so before I left, I put all my like clothes, my racks, and all that stuff on one side of the booth, and that was the side of the booth I ended up coming in on, so I couldn't turn my car into my actual booth from that direction, if that makes sense. So then I had to ask someone else to like move all my stuff to the other side of my booth so I could actually like drive into my spot. As I'm like windows down, car still on, I'm talking to the person helping me move my stuff out the way. One of the people who hosts Totally Rad, one of the employees, comes into my window, yells in my car and says, what did I just say? Get your car out the aisle, I'm riding you up. And I'm like, bro, looking at him crazy, first of all, because why the fuck are you yelling at me? I've done nothing to y'all. I could be cussing y'all out right now because of how you guys are poorly handling this entire loadout situation, but I'm not. I've kept my mouth shut. I've let other people yell in your face. I've been very respectful and very patient. I'm still sitting in my car. Car is running. You actively see me talking to someone, trying to help me move my stuff out the way so I can do exactly what you're asking me to do, and you want to come up to my freaking window and yell at me? I said, get out my face. I'm waiting for them to move my stuff. I heard you. Again, I'm sitting in my car running. It's not like I parked my car, doors all open, actively loading stuff in. No, I'm simply waiting. I cannot do what you want me to do at this very moment, but trust I'm going to do it. I don't care if you're mad at these other people. I don't care if they've been yelling at you. I have not treated you like that. So why are you treating me like such? Get it together. Get it all the way together, right? Anyway, I was very annoyed with that because that was beyond disrespectful, rude, unprofessional, unprovoked, all these things. I get all my stuff packed up. Mind you, I had another market in Atlanta the next day that I had to be up for. Okay, another 7 a.m. load in. They're wasting my time. I need to get to Atlanta. It's now 6:30. The market ended at 5. Actually, 6:45. The market ended at 5. And I've yet to pack a single thing in my freaking car. Almost 2 hours after the market has ended, and I've yet to pack a single thing in my car. And you think I'm like, okay, whatever. So after that's over, everyone's like, oh, like make a video. And I was like, I've already done that with ThriftCon. Like I really like, and a lot of people know me for that. People like fear me for that. I just like don't like, it's like hee hee ha ha that I have that reputation. But at the same time, it's like I'm not in the mood to like try to bash other people for real. Like I only want to do that like when I've reached my breaking point. I did 3 different ThriftCons before I made that video with about ThriftCon and how it wasn't worth it, right? That was not my first rodeo that I just came out and said that. And with Totally Rad, I've had some good ones and I've had some really bad ones. This one, it was mediocre at best, but this whole loadout situation was awful. But there were other cities that I really wanted to do, so I was like, I don't want to make a video, right? So I'm not going to make one. I will address it in the survey. So that's exactly what I did. I filled out the survey once they sent it in, and I told them about themselves because I honestly thought that this survey was going to go to the higher ups. Because mind you, there are people who started Totally Rad, own Totally Rad, and then they have like employees that they send around the United States to represent them, right? And if I were a business owner of something that big and I was sending my employees out, I would want to know if they were making me look terrible, if they were poorly representing me. So that's exactly why I filled out the survey. Most of the time, I'm not filling out a market survey. I really don't care enough, okay? If I liked it, I'll do it again. If I didn't like it, you simply won't get my money again. And that's that, okay? I was going to chalk this up to like a one-off thing, but I did want to make sure that they knew. So I filled out the survey, and I basically gave them a play-by-play saying that this was like handled terribly. It was very unprofessional, uncalled for. I told them that I run my own markets. I understand how stressful this can be, but like a lot of these issues that came up were issues of their own doing. Like a lot of this could have been avoided. This was unacceptable. And I gave names of the employees so they knew like this person was the one on the intercom doing this, that, and the third. They were the one acting out. Like they need to be addressed. You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 paragraphs basically just saying like I said, unacceptable, right? And so then I dropped it and I went to go apply for like the new upcoming markets. They had one in like Baton Rouge I wanted to do. I did well in Atlanta last year, so I wanted to do Atlanta again this year. I heard Tampa went stupid crazy last year, so again, I wanted to do that one. I know Mobile, like that city, they love vintage, right? And so they were doing one in Mobile. I was like, I want to do that one. So there were like 4 different cities I applied for. Mind you, I've done this market at least 5 times, right? So it's not like I'm a stranger. I'm not new. I applied and this was the first time. It was like weeks before I heard anything. And when I finally did hear something, it was one like the automated messages that was like, final emails will go out for this market in 2 days. So if you don't hear anything in 2 days, then like you weren't selected. And I'm like, okay. The day comes and goes, I hear nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. The next day, I get that same kind of email. The day comes and goes, I hear nothing. And so I went with my friend and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but like, I was like, it's fine. Rejection is redirection. I'm moving on. Like, I really don't need them anyway. I just wanted to try these other cities and be done. But I'm already like over traveling markets. I go to Albania with my friend, fashion girl, and we have a great time. I'm talking to her about Totally Rad because she's like, oh, like what markets are you doing? We're like trying to like plan out the upcoming fall and situations like that. And so I was telling her like, oh, I've applied, haven't heard anything back, blah, blah, blah. And like at first she was kind of giving me like the runaround, but I knew she was like friends with the people at Totally Rad. So eventually she caved and told me what's tea. So she essentially told me that one of the girls that runs Totally Rad, or like travels with Totally Rad, right? She's the one who does like relations with vendors, I guess does the yeses and nos. She was the one who read the survey and not the owner. So when she read it, she got her feelings hurt. She felt a type of way about my survey and simply, I guess, decided that I don't need to be a part of Totally Rad anymore. But it's like, girlie, you were there. You know everything I said was true. I fear we need to look in the mirror. If there's one thing I'm gonna do, it's be blunt and be honest. And that's exactly what I was. Like, there was no sugarcoating what happened. We all know that situation was a hot mess, and that's exactly what I said in my survey. So if me telling the truth to y'all directly and not taking it to the internet, which I know I am now, but like whatever, the deed is done. I'm already blacklisted. I don't care. I'm at this point. Like, if I can't handle that one-on-one with you, like, y'all really just don't care. Like, y'all are just in it for the money. Mind you, they're trying to do one in Hawaii in December, and they expect vendors to do that market, and like people are getting excited. I'm like, that's about to be an expensive ass market. Like, y'all must just be going for vacation. Not only are y'all trying to go to Hawaii, that's not a place you can drive. You have to fly. You're gonna have to figure out some kind of like mailing situation for your inventory. You're gonna have to find out how to rent racks. Like, there are so many things that are gonna go into play just to say you did a market in Hawaii. Who's to even know if there's a market, like a vintage scene in Hawaii? Like, this is how I know y'all are just like, these traveling markets are just doing stuff for money, and they're greedy, and they don't want people to tell them the truth about themselves. Because I mean because I came to y'all directly and I said y'all were being ridiculous and unprofessional, y'all need to look in the mirror. Now I'm in trouble. Now I can't do any more of your markets. Okay, right, okay. So that's essentially how I got blacklisted from Totally Rad. I don't know if there's any more tea on that, but I just think that's so ridiculous. I filled out a survey. You felt the type of way about my said survey. It made you cry. And that's my fault. How? Like, I don't, whatever. let me know if I'm out of pocket. I feel like filling out a private survey and just saying, hey, y'all were ridiculous, shouldn't get you blacklisted. But people don't like the truth, but you need to hear it. I also heard that like Atlanta was not good this year, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't really know. But you will not see me at any more Totally Rads. You will not see me at a singular Time Travelers. I don't even know if I touched on that, but I did Time Travelers in Huntsville like a couple months ago. When I tell you guys, I made 5 sales in that entire day. Right. It didn't help that like it was $20 to park and $10 to get in. People are now spending $30 just to come in and look. These big markets have got to get it together expeditiously, or people need to stop doing them, because I don't know, do some local stuff, do something smaller. They're gonna be worth more of your time and energy. I don't know what else to say on that, but anyway, that's my truth, that's my tea. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. After I get this one edited and posted, I'm gonna start working on the next one immediately. I'm trying to lock back in expeditiously, because I should have been at 10K subs a long time ago, and I'm a slacker. I let life get to me. I've recorded so many like weekends and just haven't edited a single one, so I'm gonna be better. I know this is like a broken record and some of you may not trust me, and that's fine, but I'm gonna try. I'm just a girl with ADHD and like so much going on in her life. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.